Thomas and the Lazy Diesel. Thomas had been working in Vickerstown for some time. More and more goods for the theme park had been coming in, and shunting them felt endless to the tank engine. He was also missing his branch line and his friends. One evening, Thomas was having his water tanks refilled when he heard an unfamiliar diesel horn. "Looks like that shunting diesel is finally here," he said to himself. The diesel rolled into the yard. He was small with 6 wheels, grey paintwork, and wearing the number 11001. The Fat Controller was in his cab. "Thomas, meet Dennis. He belongs to a dear friend of mine, who's just had him restored." "I don't think I've seen a diesel like him before," said Thomas. "You wouldn't have," replied Sir Topham Hatt. "Only one of these were built. He's been in storage since 1959. But the Earl has had him restored, and he's here to take over the shunting here until the theme park is completed. Thomas, I'd like you to show him what to do. Then you can go back to your branch line tomorrow morning." Thomas was delighted, but as soon as the controller left, Thomas noticed something. As he showed Dennis what to do, he noticed that the diesel wasn't paying attention. "I can manage, thank you." But the next morning, things got worse. When Dennis's driver came to start him up, his engine wouldn't start. It just coughed and spluttered. "Sorry," he said. "We'll have to send for an engineer," said the yard manager. "Thomas, you'll have to stay until he's repaired." Thomas was disappointed, but he went to work. When the engineer arrived, he found nothing wrong with Dennis's engine. "One of the best engines I've seen," the engineer said. "I wonder," said Thomas's driver. "I think that diesel is pulling our legs. He hasn't run since '59. I think he's gotten used to staying in one place." "He's acting to get out of work," asked Thomas. "What kind of engine would do that?" For the rest of the morning, Thomas had to do all the work while Dennis stayed on his siding. Later, Thomas even saw him talking to the 3 horrid lorries. "You're right to let that cattle do all the work. It won't be long before he's retired." "You're right," said Dennis. "Diesel engines like us are precious. I won't waste my time for silly work." "Silly work?" grumbled Thomas. "Retire?" "Ignore him," said his driver. "We'll report him to the Fat Controller." "Too right," said Thomas. "He hates really lazy engines, and so do I." Later, Thomas was asked to go to Barrow to collect some trucks. "Good, that diesel will have to do some work now," he said to himself, and left right away. In Barrow, Thomas met Gordon. He was waiting for his return trip to Knapford. Thomas told him all about Dennis. "Disgraceful! Sodor'S no home for lazy engines." "He should think himself lucky," added Thomas. "You need to put him in his place, if you ask me," said Gordon, and puffed away. Thomas thought of just what to say to Dennis as he was coupled up to his trucks. But when Thomas arrived back in the yard, he was shocked to see all the trucks hadn't been moved, and Dennis was still in his siding. All the workmen were arguing with the diesel. Even the horrid lorries were cross. "Move a wheel, lazy bones. We can't show the steam engines up without goods to transport. I'm special. I don't need to work." Finally, Thomas lost patience. He rolled up to the diesel. "This has gone far enough. You may not have moved since you were withdrawn, but those days are over. Engines on this railway are really useful, not really lazy." "But I can't work," said the diesel. "I'm precious." "Precious, eh?" shouted Thomas. "You're lucky. You were saved from scrap, and this is how you repay it. Do you know how many engines and scrap yards and old sidings would give their sidewads for a chance you've got? You don't deserve it." And he bumped Dennis hard. So hard that diesel smashed into the bumpers behind him and derailed. Thomas was shocked. So was Dennis. The horrid lorries found it a great joke. "Tamper, tamper! They laughed. Said a stern-sounding voice. It was Sir Topham Hatt. He'd seen everything. Thomas, I'm pleased with your hard work, but not with the way you handled this situation. You've caused a disturbance. Thomas looked down at his buffers, while Dennis chuckled to himself. As for you, thundered the Fat Controller, you've been worse. You've made a disturbance. Thomas is quite right. My engines work hard. I send lazy engines away. I will speak to your owner and request that you are taken away today. The Diesel wasn't so pleased now. Later, Dennis's owner came and spoke angrily to him. He was then taken away. The Fat Controller spoke again to Thomas. I've decided not to punish you as you were pushed to your limits, but I need you to stay here longer to continue shunting here. Yes, sir, said Thomas, but I've decided to get you some help. I'll see about getting another shunter here tomorrow. Thank you, sir, said Thomas, breathing a sigh of relief. And Thomas went back to work. But the events with the Diesel made the horrid lorries very cross. But that's another story.